Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Wake Up Show with myself and Alex. How's everyone feeling out of 10?
Every day that you wake up and put your feet on the ground is a 10 out of 10 for
Uh,
me.
Wiser words never said.
Mm,
It's a 10 out of 10. No more government shutdown. That just went away. The narrative was here and it's gone as quickly as Bitcoin rose.
mm.
How are we feeling about that, Alex?
Oh, government shutdown. People are asking me, a libertarian, what I think about government shutdowns.
Keep it shut down.
Yeah. I mean, like, is the entire government shut down? No. So apparently, let's shut down these departments that have 10 people doing a job fit for one person. And until we see that single mom on TV who's crying about her mortgage not being able to be paid, and then both sides will reach an agreement, and then the government will reopen. Unfortunately, so
Yeah, Congress people they still get paid, but when I was in the
yeah,
military, we was always in danger
yeah.
whenever that would happen. All right, I'm gonna put your charts on so you can kick us off.
Okay, all right. Welcome to October, everybody. Um, things are bullish, and I am right now. I'm of a mindset that there's a lot of things that are just like right on the brink of breaking out. And so, and I think they will, and I'm excited about that. Hey, I just want to remind you, remember this time last week, I got to give props to two people. This time last week, everyone was wetting their pants, and lots of people on X, lots of big accounts on X. They were, man, is it over? I think it's over. And there were two people who were like, no, it's not over, and don't be dumb, don't capitulate in September. And so I want to give those two people props. Those two people are Yaboyski and myself. So props to both of us. Props to me. Props to Devin. Look at where we are now. All right. Right now, we're at some levels of resistance that I'll be a lot more excited when we break those levels of resistance. Now, I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart here. I just want to point out something. It's not even, the Bitcoin is not even what I want to talk about, but it is at the upper limit of the daily Bollinger Band. Just something that maybe we'll fight through here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of a back test of the 7-year trend line here or the middle Bollinger Bands. But I want to look at two big things. I'm sure Devin has this on his radar too. The Russell 2000. Could it be that we are finally breaking out in the Russell 2000? We're in new all-time high territory. We are right now in the Russell 2000 above the 2001 all-time high. And it would make sense to me. Don't fight the trend. It would make sense to me that yes, especially in October, that we would finally break through this and get to price discovery. Now, we do have also the total 2. Total 2 is right there. It's right at the 2021 peak. It's gotten rejected the last 2 days. And so if this is a confirmed breakout in the Russell 2000, we're probably going to also see a confirmed breakout. It usually happens like on the same day for total 2, for Russell 2000, that they both break out at the same time. And total 2, 1.71 trillion is the 2021 peak. Total altcoin market cap is 1.68 trillion right now, gotten up to 1.71 trillion, got rejected there. We are in right now. I mean, we're on the brink. This is a 4-year cup and handle pattern that's playing itself out. And it just makes sense to me in October that this is the time that we would break through. Total 3 has a little bit more work to do. I mean, Total 3 actually, no, it doesn't. It's in the same exact spot. And a big thing, if we want this party to get really, really hot going, would be the US dollar index, which it's got a little bit more work to do. Man, I got to get rid of these. Bollinger Bands are so ugly on the chart, man. All right, let me get rid of the Bollingers.
All about the vibes.
Yeah. So I'm looking at an 11-year trend line. that if the DXY were to lose this trend line, it's fought a couple times, and it's do or die here with the US dollar index. As far as like, sure, we could rally and put in a lower high in the DXY, or I think if we lost this 11-year trend line, and I think we will. I have been, ever since we put in a V-shaped recovery in the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the Nasdaq. I've had 1999 in my head as to what's going to happen in the stock market, and that
As
is
far as
a
rate
blow off
cuts.
top. Oh yeah, blow off top. So we lose this. That aligns perfectly with this idea that we would have ahead of us a blow off top. Now the S&P 500 is even more confirmation for me that that's the direction we're heading, because we lost a trend line, put in a V-shaped recovery, and now we're back above that trend line, and that's a very aggressive trend line moving higher. So I have a projection here. This is what the S&P 500 did in 1999. Now I'm looking at the SPY ETF, but around 8100 S&P. That's kind of my mindset. Tech could do way crazier than that. I mean, in 1999, the Nasdaq more than doubled in 1999. So,
But ski.
I'll say one more thing. I'll hand it off to you. This is a sign of the times, because we could price all this stuff in gold, and realize that, like, we're not. It's not all that exciting to see a blow off top in terms of dollars. It's actually not as exciting as you might think, because it's just a sign of what the US dollar is. But all right, one more thing, actually. Silver. The idea that silver would just bust out here and get into price discovery, we're talking about a 46-year cup and handle with silver. 45 years, excuse me. I was off by a year. 45-year cup and handle with silver. I wouldn't be surprised if silver hit a brick wall here and it took another year to break through, which means that gold is probably close to peaking, which means that if gold is now going to chop or even move down, that rotation to crypto, that's usually what happens, especially to Bitcoin. So I think where the stars are aligning in many ways.
Beautiful.
Your boy Ski.
All right, I'll take it from here. All right, so I got my eyes on Bitcoin, the Russell, gold. To me, those are the three big players. If you're like new here and you don't know why are we talking about the Russell, essentially, in layman's terms, that represents risk on assets, which means investing at a more aggressive rate, which is cryptocurrency in a nutshell. And the Russell 2 correlated, especially to others, and Total 2, Total 3, especially to altcoins, is highly correlated. So the fact that it's, flirting with all-time highs right now is a very good sign. But I'm going to start it off with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin ultimately is the son of cryptocurrency. And I was both of us were very confident that this was a local bottom last week. And we talked about all the things. We had a bullish divergence taking place on the RSI, where price was going down as the RSI was going up. This was one of the reasons I was very bullish. We were the most oversold since April 7th. We talked about all this stuff last week. And we talked about every time that we've been this oversold on the RSI on the 5-hour. The at least bare minimum, the 10-day low was in, and the bare minimum move was an 8% to the upside, but most of the time the 28-day low was in, and we had a 8 to 30% move, and basically we've already gotten 8%. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we've already gotten 11% from there. Now, one thing that I'll say that's in the macro, because of the Russell, because of how hot gold is, because of how hot silver is, I am very bullish, especially history being on our side. October, November are the most bullish months in crypto. But in the micro, and I'm talking very micro, perhaps until next week, this is pretty hot at this point for Bitcoin. Now, what could happen, how we see this play out right a lot, is the divergence. So usually you'll start to see this get extremely overheated one way, and then you'll kind of continue to fall. This is what's called a divergence, where one is going down, where one is going up. Usually we could anticipate that to the upside as well. So if we start to see, let's say, the RSI kind of doing one of these numbers and then the price is going up, well, I would anticipate a back test of the prior range for Bitcoin, and the other. What I actually think is going to happen is a double top, because we haven't quite got the divergence, and then rolling over and then back testing the 0.5 probably to 116 before a continuation. I have my eyes. If any funny business is going to happen, it's going to happen between now and the 8th. And I think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana will all be making new all-time highs by the end of October. But I do expect in the near, very, very micro, a back test of the prior range, just because in the micro we're very overheated at this
Yeah.
point. In the even on the daily though, we're I would call us still neutral. This is important to note for Bitcoin. This is the third highest candle, or second, excuse me, the second highest daily body candle that Bitcoin has ever gotten. So we're kind of far away, I guess, from the all-time high over here at 125. But in reality, this is the second highest candle that we've ever gotten. And we can see how much stronger this move is than even over here or even over here. Like, these candles have real strength here. And we are, flirting with getting above the 702, which to me is the second highest level of resistance that is on the chart. The 702 to me is the second highest, and then the all-time high is the highest level of resistance. Once we get above that, I do think that Bitcoin gets into the 130s, and I think it's going to be flirting with it by the end of this month. Would not be shocked at all with a little bit of a back test before continuation. I'm not saying it needs to happen, because we easily could be in banana land and things could just be ripping. But that would be the anticipation, is a back test of the prior range before a continuation. The Russell, though, makes things a little bit complicated, as you were saying, because like if the Russell breaks out, we easily, and this technically right now is the highest daily body. If it were to close today, right now, this is the highest daily body candle that we've ever gotten. So although not technically an all-time high, this is the highest daily body candle that the Russell has ever gotten. My line in the sand is about 2,500. To me, that would be a clear direction of a clear breakout into price discovery. And if the Russell does that, I would be inclined to believe that we are entering into banana land for sure. So that's the big thing with Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana. Same thing for Ethereum. This was basically, I think that I have the same sort of move in mind. On the bigger time, this was just another higher low. But getting above, and this is what we talked about. I think I talked about it on the show. I definitely talked about it in my live streams. It's like, it's hard to articulate the difference in sentiment between 4,100 and 5,100. But it will be completely flipped on its head to a degree that is hard to quantify. It's hard to quantify the degree that of how hard the sentiment will flip with just a little bit of price action. And like, I try not to let people forget. I try to like keep the log of 2 days ago. All I heard about on my live streams, and I'm sure it was the same for you, all anyone was talking about was government shutdowns and what about Bitcoin dominance? Government shutdowns and Bitcoin dominance is running. And then it's like, Bitcoin's up $2,000, Ethereum is up, $200, and no one's talking about it. It's like a 5% move, and then all of a sudden, like, is the government still shut down? Is Bitcoin dominance still at a resistance level? I'm not sure. But now all of a sudden, everyone, like, how quickly things flip for a 5% move. Now imagine a 20% move. Now imagine a 40% move, because that is the average return for Bitcoin in October and November. That's Bitcoin, not Ethereum, not Solana. So I think that's, Ethereum getting into the $5,000 range, that's going to put us into banana land. And that's,
Yep.
if you remember last year, during the same time, when Bitcoin was really fighting this this level. I don't know what's up with my chart here. But last year, when Bitcoin was just grueling at the all-time high, it's almost like Ethereum is doing the same thing, where it's grueling at that same all-time high of struggling to get above, and this grueling downtrend. And Alex could attest, but this almost period in time was almost more depressing than FTX collapse time. Because everyone knew we were in a bear market, but this was like everyone got their hopes up, 20% correction. Everyone got their hopes up, 20% correction. And just like the emotional roller coaster was the worst time, to the point that we got into so much despair and disbelief. Literally, no one believed the rally until we was already at 100K. And I suspect the same thing is going to happen with Ethereum. I suspect the same thing is going to happen with Solana. And we'll look at Bitcoin dominance. Everyone's been freaking out about Bitcoin dominance, which is just like, I need to remind you and keep things perspective, keep things grounded. We were on an uptrend for like 3 years. We have broken that uptrend. We have put in macro lower lows, macro lower highs. This idea that even in the fall off the cliff stage, you're not going to get a 2, 3, 4% bounce is kind of silly. I will say with Bitcoin dominance, though, showing real signs of weakness, showing a let's go in the 5-hour here. Oh, way overheated, and a bearish divergence is taking place here. And the last bearish divergence that took place was over here. We went about 0.5% higher before rolling over. It's important to note, though, that before we did this, this was a 3-year uptrend where we are in a downtrend with a bearish divergence. So to me, this is much weaker than even over here that we had. So to me, this is way weaker. We've already put in a lower high at this point. If we can put in a lower low, I think that this will roll over very quickly.
Let me say something about that real quick. So a lot of people are asking about that because of Benjamin Cohen, who I know you've never heard of, except for, now you know that a lot of people know who he is. He's really big on Bitcoin dominance rallying this month. And I'm just going to repeat what I said. I mean, all right, Benjamin Cohen called for Ethereum to get down to $3,500. It got down to $38. I'm not saying that he was wrong. I mean, I think that's fine. He's always going to be on the more conservative side, which is very helpful for you most of the time. But if you're going to continue to listen to him and we do get into banana zone, you are going to miss out on some serious gains. Continue, Devin.
Yeah. So I just think that, I mean, this is still a downtrend. And the idea, I think it's very simple. Like, I don't think you need to get too complicated. And I've talked about this. What is a bear market? What is a bull market? Okay. One indication that you're in a bull market versus a bear market is if the 200 is on bottom, followed by the 100, followed by the 50, followed by the 20, that is a bull market. And that's going to be a lagging indicator on the daily for sure. But you can know pass fail, bull market, bear market. When it flips the other way, which, spoiler alert, it flipped back over in August. Bitcoin dominance flipped into a bear market. 200 on top, followed by the 100, followed by the 50, followed by the 20. That's a bear market. Okay. Bitcoin dominance is in a bear market. And to me, the most logical, practical thing is, after being in a bull market for 3 years and then flipping into a bear market, it's not like we're coiled up. These are spread apart. This idea that we're going to go flip back into a bull market for Bitcoin dominance is not a logical, practical thing. Could it happen? Sure, anything can happen, but that is not something that I would anticipate in the slightest. So that's just like sometimes we get so overcomplicated, and we try to, as content creators, we try to show people how smart we are, and we try to show like how much data we can pull. And a lot of times I find that the most simple explanation oftentimes is the explanation. And that to me is as simple as it gets. Bitcoin dominance is in a bear market. It's in a downtrend, and this is going to be our friend until it is not. This to me is no more than just a this same sort of move right here. And we had other moves like it when we were falling as well, in other scenarios like over here. So you had multiple little rallies like so in the midst of alt season.
Yeah.
Somebody on Twitter was very concerned about October and Bitcoin dominance. They said that October was, I thought I wrote it down somewhere, but I guess not. They said October was, one of the best months for Bitcoin dominance. And I looked at all the data for the last 10 years. There was 10 different Octobers for Bitcoin dominance. This is now our 11th. There was 6 bullish Octobers. There was 4 bearish Octobers. Okay, so this isn't as correlated as someone might think. And also, the last 3 have been bullish because we've been on an uptrend for the entire time. So it's a little bit of recency biases. 4 of the 6 bullish Octobers, though, were followed by extreme bearish Novembers. Okay, so either way we go. Anyways, I saw this being like a big stat on Twitter. I think it's more recency bias because this has been our reality for the last 3 years. And a lot of people in reality, that's their only exposure to crypto. And one thing that I talked about too, and this is the last thing I'll say, if you've never been a part, a lot of people, so in reality, if you have not been in crypto, and it's hard to articulate this because if you've never experienced it, it's hard to believe it. But if you haven't been in crypto since 2020, in reality, you have never experienced flipping from boring and bearish to outright euphoric. It hasn't happened. And I think that most of the market, like we've been talking about for literally years at this point, has the same setup as Bitcoin. In 2013. And I think that's going to play itself out violently. You talked about something in 2021 last week. I don't remember what it was, but you were like, oh man, it just you talked about something last week where you're like, it was different. This was I don't remember what you were saying actually, but it just reminded me like, I just think that we're going to get into euphoria. And I think that October, November, if Ethereum gets above $5,000 is going to get into banana land. I am extremely bullish in the medium to medium term. And then I'm a bit pessimistic in the micro. I think that we could have a back test of the prior range followed by a continuation. So that's my thoughts on the market, though. I think that it's a dangerous time to be too cute. We do got to get above the all-time highs for Solana, for the Russell, for Ethereum. Everything, everywhere, all at once is all doing basically the exact same thing right now. So
yes. If any of you saw my eye roll while Devin was talking, it was not towards Devin. I was reading a question. And hey guys, can you check out the Russell? Already did. It's breaking out. Great. Let's hope it holds. Should we be worried about the market dropping now? Was the question that I rolled my eyes to. And all right, we're both of the mindset. I made a Bitcoin video yesterday talking about some resistance. I mean, Devin pointed out, like, look for a bearish divergence on the 5-hour chart. For me, I pay attention to 4 hours. bearish divergence on the 5-hour chart. It's probably coming. And so what does that mean? That means that, yeah, Bitcoin can go up a little bit higher. RSI will not. RSI will put in a lower high. And from there, Bitcoin will probably go down a little bit more, down to the 1 teens or something. So I'm not worried.
Yeah, I think maybe 116, 115.
That's exactly around where I was thinking.
One thing I forgot to mention, though, gold right now on the monthly chart.
Man.
This is red hot. 95. Yeah. This is not peanut coin. This is not fart coin. This is gold. Okay. This is the most overbought gold has been since 1979.
Wow. Look at 19. Was that 1982? Oh, wait. No, that was the 40s. Never mind.
It is important to note all the times that it was super oversold. This is a big divergence here. That was a local top. So does that mean that, gold is going to crash down to 2000? I don't know about that, but we don't need it to. We just need it to stop stealing the thunder and go into the Russell, go into risk on. So this is very, very hot. Someone asked me the other day, should I be buying gold? And I was like, no, I don't want you to buy anything that's the most overbought since 1979. That's that's a long time.
Now, eventually, so we're not saying don't buy gold. I mean, I'm personally, I'll speak for myself, I guess. Just not yet, not right now. I will be buying. So, all right, great financial crisis. Everything dumped really hard. Gold lost a little bit. I mean, gold lost what? I don't remember the percentages, maybe like 30-40%. But then after that, gold went crazy. Gold and silver went wild. And so I think the same thing is going to happen post whatever the next crash is. That precious metals, I'm going to be buying a lot of precious metals. So
from the top of 2008, gold crashed 35%, 33%. Yeah. That's pretty stark for gold.
Yeah. And lots of other things crashed more, but then gold, I mean, look at that chart after.
Right.
Gold went crazy. And that's in silver went even crazier. So like that's my play.
I mean, I buy silver every single week. I buy gold as well. I've sold 30% of my gold already. I'm probably going to be looking to de-risk a little bit more, but gold to me is way more long-term than.
Yeah.
So I'm not really trying to trade gold like that, but yeah, they went. So that's crazy. It had this big run up, had a crash down 33%, and then guess what? Went to almost the 3618 before doing distribution. And y'all think Fibonacci's don't matter?
Yeah, that's my play. Is like, I think it's going to do something very similar. It'll eventually get to $10,000 an ounce. Maybe this decade, maybe early 2030s.
Yeah. And guess what? $10,000 will not be $10,000.
Yeah. I mean. The
Because
gas pump. Go ahead.
To me, gold. Yeah, that's what that means. That means gas is $9.
Yeah.
To me, gold isn't really an investment, but more of a savings, because 2,000 years ago, 1 ounce of gold was a fine man's suit. Today, 1 ounce of gold is a fine man's suit.
That's a very nice suit.
Very nice suit. So to me, it's just the measurement of wealth. And I did the video a long time ago too. It was like, I think we're kind of being lied to a little bit about the housing crisis. There is a housing crisis, but not measured in gold. There's not.
Yeah. I just want to remind some people, let me show some charts here. Just everything priced in gold. Cause all right, think about this. I don't know the exact amount, but like in the 1970s, X amount of ounces of gold would buy you a house. All right. And in present day, last I heard, forgive the lack of data here, but it's pretty much the same amount of ounces of gold would buy you a house as in the 1970s. So here's the Dow Jones priced in gold. Let me go to the weekly. Dow Jones priced in gold is in a massive bear market. We peaked in 2018. Here's the S&P 500 priced in gold. We peaked in 2021. The NASDAQ priced in gold. We peaked in 2021. You think about the reason why this is important, and I'm going to show a Bitcoin chart and give a projection for Bitcoin here priced in gold. The reason why this is important is if you think about like the Great Depression, the US dollar was pegged to gold. And so we saw this, 80% crash in the stock market in the Great Depression. Too soon, I know. You're still healing from that. That's sarcasm. That was the priced in gold. That's why this matters. And that's why, people I'm seeing people say there's a lot of froth in the stock market right now. And I would say, no, that's the sign of the times, the US dollar. That's the sign of the dollar.
We're measuring everything in a bubble itself.
Yeah. So that's why I prefer to measure these charts in gold, and everything is in a major bear market versus gold, all these stock indexes. Now, Bitcoin versus Bitcoin priced in gold. Here's a little bit of projection here. And this is, I think, kind of worst case scenario where Bitcoin would back test a trend line. We hit an all-time high, not an all-time high, an all-time high. Bitcoin hit an all-time high priced in gold when Bitcoin went to $108,000 in December. And then it put in a lower high when it got to 109 in January, and then another lower high when it got to like 112, 124 and all that. So a move to another lower high getting rejected at a trend line, if gold's price stays the same, which I know it won't, but if it were to stay the same as it is today, a move to a rejection at this trend line in Bitcoin priced in gold is $138,000 Bitcoin.
What is the 1618 there?
1618.
That almost looks like how Ethereum is flirting with all-time highs and the Russell trying to break out.
So 1618 in gold, is that what you're saying? You're asking?
Yes.
So let me look at the percentages here. I'll just extend this.
Sorry.
And see.
I need to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no problem.
You got me curious.
So, and that could happen. I would say that my scenario here is kind of like I don't want to say worst case scenario, but like kind of like my low end expectation for Bitcoin priced in gold. So we're talking about a 70% move, the 1.618 for Bitcoin priced in gold. Well, that's the 1.618 from the 2021 peak, by the way.
Which I think is accurate.
Yeah.
That's what I care about more. That's more macro.
Yeah. So a 70%, what would be a 70% increase in Bitcoin's price? 120,000 times
207
times 1.7.
207.
Oh, 207.
I don't know. I'm guessing, but that sounds right.
All right. Well, I'm just going to type it in the calculator real quick. 120, I'll just do 120 times 1.7 equals 204. 204,000 would be a 1.618 retrace.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's more confirmation. There you go. That's where we're going. Is Euphoria immune to market manipulation that we've been seeing? Euphoria is market manipulation, Alan. And I assure you, like if I say Euphoria and you think that the average Joe is going to experience that, in reality, what happens is they capitulate because of government shutdowns, and then we go into Euphoria, and then they FOMO back in. That's the reality of it. And this is why for 98% of people, I recommend just finding your fundamental projects and DCAing, because you are immune to market manipulation if you just DCA. I understand that some people, if you want to dedicate your life to this and be, a slave to the charts like me, that's fine. And there's a different strategy for you. But for most people that are, teachers, firemen, police officers, moms, dads, I think that the best strategy for most people is find your fundamental projects with good tokenomics and just DCA, and strictly because of the apex predator market manipulation, the emotional warfare that takes place. And that's how you can combat that, is just by DCAing.
Yes.
Someone said, Alex taught you so much chart reading. I don't know if that's true.
That's very far from the truth.
Me and Alex have very different styles of chart reading, anyways.
Yeah. Yes.
My man skis.
And it's nice when there's as we're looking at things differently, when we reach the same conclusion, which we've done a lot over the last 6 months at least. So
we've done a lot the last 6 months
of coming to the same conclusion
differently.
Yeah.
I remember the first time it happened is like you had this real simple answer and I didn't even know it. And I went on this elaborate goose chase of like looking at all the charts for Jasmine. And I was like, and this because of tokenomics and Fibonacci's and la 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 la. Like I did all these different things. I was like, 10 to 12 cents is my target. And you're like, yeah, 10 to 12 cents is my target too.
I mean, it did have a lot to do with tokenomics and with, I mean, for me, I just remember it was tokenomics. It was market cap dominance. It was things like that. So
where do you buy gold, silver, and precious metals? Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a big silver stacker. I love silver. Out of all of my investments, I bought real estate. I've bought crypto. I bought stocks. I bought insurance. I bought anything, any sort of investment, watches, cigars, classic cars, whatever. Out of all, okay, I lie. I don't have any classic cars, and that would be my favorite. But out of all the investments I have, silver is my favorite one to buy because there's something about holding physical silver, physical gold in your hand. I don't know how to explain it to you other than it's very primal and it feels good. So that's my favorite one to buy. And every week, just like I'm giving the advice, I don't really trade silver and gold. I just DCA it. I buy it a little bit every week. You can generally go on Google and you can search up coin shop. And these are usually reputable with the state. And if they sell you fake silver or fake gold, they have to buy it back from you legally. So that's where I go. I find that those are good places to buy gold and silver is at your local coin shops, and build a relationship with your guy. He might get you some deals. He might look for he or she might look for what you're looking for and tell you when you have some good deals or whatever. And sometimes they'll give you discounts if you build a relationship with them. But yeah, coin shops, that's the way to go. It's fun to look around and shop for your little because not only is it like an investment, it's like every coin, every piece of silver, it kind of has a story to it. And there's something fun about that. Anyways. So there you go, Charlie. That is that's how you buy silver.
That's yes. And that is the right way to do it. So let me tell you the wrong way, which I do.
Nacho cheese. Nacho.
I have plenty of silver. I don't have any physical gold except for literally a strand of gold, which I think is worth like $5. But I have bought and traded the ETFs. I'm sorry, but nobody's going to steal my ETFs on Robinhood.
To be fair to Alex, listen, I don't subscribe in that way. That's just the full on libertarian in me, the sovereignty in me, the Bitcoin ethos in me. You will get better margins buying paper.
Yeah,
because you're going to pay like if you go into a silver shop, you'll pay spot price and then you'll pay like a premium, and that's how they make their money. So you always pay like $1, $2 above spot on anything for silver specifically. So if you buy it like the ETFs, you're not going to pay that.
And I'll just be real too. I don't live in the hood, but I live close to the hood. And and I'll even get a little bit personal. My next door neighbor's son shot his baby mama a few weeks ago,
My
right
God.
next door to my house. So I don't want to get my gold or silver stolen from me. Crossing fingers. So
Yeah. Well, I'm a big believer in the Second Amendment, so wrong house in
oh
my.
yeah, yeah. Don't try that stuff in my house. She got shot in the shoulder. She's alive, by the way. She survived. She just got shot in the shoulder, but
Uh, yeah. Um, yeah. Hopefully, this bull run will get Alex out of the slums. Get.
yeah, yeah.
It says your t-shirt collection, money. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, brother. Ski, do you and Alex use coin glass to monitor liquidation levels?
Oh yeah, I saw that question. I don't. Do you?
No, I think it's a little bit too popular. And I think it's almost nothing on a small time frame. There could be some weight to it on a bigger time frame, but I think it's almost nothing on like less than 3 days, because that to me can be very manipulated. I'm a little bit skeptical, because all of a sudden I think that there was a lot of value to it, and then it became like so popular that I think that there's less value to it. Whatever is popular in my jaded brain is wrong. So I don't use it. No.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I like to keep it just. I don't know about how all the stuff that Devin said. Yeah, I mean, is it legit or not? I just prefer to keep things a little bit more simple. There's always tools you could add to your tool belt.
Yeah, that's what I recommend. It's like, don't take my advice. Don't get shiny object syndrome. If you're finding an edge with any indicator, guess what? Keep using that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think a big mistake that people can make in trading is like, there's a small barrier to entry of like navigating the app, and then there's a giant barrier of entry of like actually effectively navigating the markets. And I think people will confuse the two of like, I can navigate the app versus actually navigating the markets. And it's like being a mechanic. I was a mechanic in the Army for 10 years. I would always say I'm a mechanic. I'm not a great one. I know enough to get myself in trouble. And I think that I think a lot of ways like TradingView can be like that. When you're reading charts, it's like you'll know enough to get yourself in trouble. And the difference between navigating the app and then the expert of navigating the actual markets is a large barrier. Kind of like learning Greek. It's like you know a little bit in the beginning, you have confidence, and it's like the more you know, the more that you learn that you don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
Thoughts on Cardano? Go ahead.
Well, I'll just add to that. Like, no, go ahead. Thoughts on Cardano? Is that?
I like Cardano 2468.
There we go. I'll leave it at that. I want to answer a question here. It's directed to me. How many shares of QQQI are you trying to accumulate? Just started buying stuff from my kids' accounts. For those that don't know, that is a high dividend yielding monthly payout ETF. And so they trade options based on QQQ, and they generate yield from that and then distribute via ETFs. I love it. I'm accumulating, and I don't have a dollar amount for shares. It's about 15% annual dividends. But my goal with my dividends is to make my budget, my annual budget, in dividend payments. So whatever, for me, it's a very high budget because I send my kids to an expensive school that just makes me want to pull my hair out. But that's it. So for me, my budget's probably like $8,000 or $9,000 a month. Honestly, it just drives me crazy. So that's what I want to make in dividends. So anyway,
I have two good questions here. Someone asked, I can't find the question, but I saw it. What is this show? This is the Wake Up Call, and we are definitely not live on other platforms. And You should absolutely not leave TikTok. Whatever you do, stay on TikTok, and do not go to YouTube or X or anywhere else where people that might look like us are probably live showing our charts. So whatever you do, don't leave this platform to the other places. And then the other one from is this? I think it's Alice. Hopefully, I said your name right. Sorry if I didn't. Will institutions suppress the parabolic phase this cycle? Okay, I like the question. I think that this is a correct framing of a question. However, let's think about it one layer deeper. Okay, so to answer your question, if you view the lens, which how I view the lens is through the apex predator lens. What is the apex predator doing? What is the most painful? What is the most profitable? Okay, it is more profitable for the apex predator to go into price discovery, aka all-time highs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that causes more trading volume and it makes easier prey.
That's right.
So
It never ceases to amaze me. It happens every time, where it's like things get really hot, and you and I have been here long enough. It's like, all right, well, we're going to take some money off the table, or a lot of money off the table, and well, like even just the cryptos that we get asked about on our live streams, it's some random crypto that pumped like 100% in a day. Should I buy this crypto? It's like, you guys. Anyway.
Yeah, we won't hear about. We'll go live every day. Generally, like at least me and Alex are probably live 5-6 days a week. Every day, we won't hear nothing about this random coin, and then all of a sudden we'll be live, and it's just the talk of the town, and we'll look at the charts, and it's just straight vertical. And this is what I say. I said this once. I've said it 736 times. Nothing will change sentiment quite like price action. Everyone's always like, well, what about the news? And what event caused this? I'm like, the event is an all-time high, because that's what retail loves to buy, is all-time highs.
Yeah. And that's all we're waiting for. Those of you who are on this live stream now, I hate to say it like this. I mean, like, you're waiting for these suckers. Me too. I'm guilty. You're waiting for these suckers to come in and be your exit liquidity.
Oh, no. Sorry, I was reading a funny comment and I lost it.
All right.
They said started a GoFundMe for Alex's family to get them out
of it. Yeah, go for it.
Oh man.
I love my house. And my neighbor's a great neighbor. It's his son though, I really never met him before.
Oh man. The funniest thing happened last night or the other week was like with the other Alex, the content creator. I had because I did a podcast with the Rise Up, and I had his ex up because I took his profile picture to make the thumbnail, and I kept trying to show a crypto meme, and I was showing his face instead.
Oh, dude.
And they were like, Ski, do you have a shrine of Alex?
That's hilarious.
They're like, what's the deal with Alex? I'm like, there's no deal. I don't have a shrine. Oh, man. Yeah.
So are we still worried about today's dip? Bitcoin's at 121,000. Or
Bitcoin is up today.
Yeah.
It is green today.
I'm curious about Total 2. Yeah, Total 2 is still trying to break through. But
yeah, listen, guys, this reminds me a lot of last September to October, of like when it flips, it's going to flip violently into all-time highs, and no one will believe it until it's already pandemonium on the streets.
Yeah.
So don't FOMO. Listen, if you miss a crazy run, no worries. Just find your coins, DCA, and if you get the opportunity to take profit, if you ever have life-changing money, change your life. And don't FOMO. Just stick with your plan. Whatever your plan is, stick with that. Because that's going to serve you better than it being emotional. Go ahead.
I'm looking at a lot of these altcoins right now. They're still, Bitcoin is doing its thing right now. Ethereum's had a great run this week. XRP as well. But a lot of them are still like good coins to accumulate. So, like VeChain, we talked about VeChain a lot.
October ETF announcements. Yeah, I think there's 19 Solana pending approval ETFs.
Oh, wow. I saw a list. There should be a bunch for the end of this year, a bunch of different cryptos.
You guys ever talk to each other in person? We do.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk more when I move. Because
Yeah.
we'll be neighbors. I'll be in the slums. No. I'll be about 30 minutes away. Jamel Clown said 2025 bear market. Yeah.
Oh yeah, jam again. Man. So all right, this is not a negative statement about Jamil. I've just come to find that when he's loud on X, it's usually a great time to buy. And not usually, like literally every time it's been a great time to buy.
Yeah.
So I like his stuff. I get notified whenever he tweets. He's been awfully quiet lately.
Yeah.
Last week was very loud. Go ahead.
People thought I would listen. I don't care. You know, at this point, like, there's no beef. I wish him well.
Yeah.
I made a video and I forgot I made a video back in I think it was March of 23, like after Silicon Valley Bank went to zero. And people think I was exaggerating when I said, like, I've never not known him to be bearish.
Yeah.
And the video was literally Silicon Valley Bank going to zero. And I was doing a stitch of his video saying, like, acknowledging his points and saying why I thought they were wrong. And it was bearish in March of 2023. He's bearish today. Jamel is Alex's shrine. I thought you were moving to Kentucky. I am moving to Kentucky, but it's close to Cincinnati. So it's like 30 minutes from Cincinnati is where my farm is. Ski, you sell your house yet? Ready for more farm videos? Nope. But the market is picking up. So they cut rates. So that's good. And they're probably going to cut rates again in October. We've had lots of showings, but no close, but no cigar yet. What happened to Crypto Bastard? You tell me. I am not his gatekeeper.
I have no idea.
I thought you were in charge of him. I thought you were in charge of him.
You talking to me or the person commenting?
No, I'm just. I thought you were watching him. That's what I used to say. Like, I am not his. No, it says, bro, Kentucky has tornadoes. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. No place has more tornadoes than Tennessee.
Kentucky. I mean, northern Kentucky at least isn't that bad. It's very hilly. I mean, well, southern Kentucky is too.
And my farm
is
very
western
hilly as well.
Or eastern. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to make decisions based off of what God's going to do. So that's can't whatever. But there's no place that it gets hit harder with tornadoes than Tennessee. I can tell you that much.
Really? Not like Oklahoma or something?
I don't know. It's just been crazy this entire time. There's been like every year there's a few that are like in my city and then like in Nashville. It's insane. So, but I gotta bounce, Alex.
Yes.
All right.
Bounce.
That is gonna be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. I have 497 missed text messages. I am not getting back to my own people unless they are pinned to the top. I assure you, I'm not going out of my way to message you.
Me neither. Yeah, closing thoughts. What?
If a Yoboyski or an Alex Costa messages you, or any name variation using our name, image, or likeness, and says, "How's your trading going? How are you?" Any of the greetings, mate. Any of the following. That's not me. That's not Alex. Yeah. That's somebody from Pakistan, Kakistan, Turkestan, Afghanistan. It's not a ski stand. All right.
All right.
Any closing thoughts, Alex?
Yeah. Hey guys, how's your trading going?
All right,
kidding.
guys. That's gonna be it for this time. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.